and you have to draw the note, draw a whole note, okay? So here goes your letter F, and I'm gonna look up here again to figure out where there could be an F that I might be able to draw. So I look and I see there's an F on the top line. There's also an F on the first space. So that's why they drew one F on the first space, one on top line. Okay. So if there are two of that letter, please draw both. Okay. All right, so now next we have them asking for D. So I'm gonna look up here and figure out where I can find D. Oh, D, I see a D right here. And that is on the 1, 2, 3, 4th line. So then I'll come down here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and draw my note right there on the line. And you do that for the rest. Alright, so if you want to pause here before we move on to the next part, that is fine. We're going on to lesson 3. Alright, bass clef, and of course make sure you finish out all the rest of those questions that were on the bottom of this page. Finish all the questions. Alright, so now bass clef, you're doing the same exact thing you did for the last page, but this is bass clef. This is a new clef now, okay? This just tells you that when you see it there on the staff, the notes on the lines and spaces are going to have different letters. Okay, so now we have new sayings. Look. For the lines, it's good boys do fine always. That's different. The other one was every good boy does fine. And then for the spaces, it's all cows eat grass, to help you memorize that the order of spaces is A, C, E, G. So remember, when they ask you to identify letters or note names like how they're going to do here, you're not going to sit here and say, oh, this is on the first line. Oh look, okay, I find that here, that's here on the first line, so that's good, and then write out good here. That is wrong, okay? They're asking you to write the letter names. That's one letter, okay? So this is not a good note. This note is a G, okay? Also, they have you up here drawing the bass clef. So just go ahead and follow their traces, follow these dots, and add in 4 more. And then same thing here. Now you have the letter name, so you're looking for a B here. You're going to go back up, find a B, which I just did up here in the line notes, and that's line number 1, 2, line number 2. So I'll come back down here, count line number 1, 2, and boom, there I am. Okay, so finish that out. That's straightforward. And then lesson number 4 is going to take the most time. What they're telling you here is that when you connect the treble clef staff and the bass clef together, it makes the grand staff. Okay, and the grand staff comes together when you're playing piano. So if you want to know something weird that you might not have heard before, in piano, the left hand plays treble clef, and the right hand plays treble clef, and the left hand plays the bass clef. Okay. So then what you're gonna see here is that there are middle notes. And this is a big deal because people always get confused here. There are notes that are underneath the staff and way above it, okay? And you got to be able to identify and know what those notes are. So they gave them to you here, and they also showed them to you how they look on the piano, okay? So if you want to go ahead and add these to your grand staff that you have up here, you should probably do that so you see how it connects. Okay, so that would be D, that would be C, and that would be B. Alright, so look here for those random middle notes that you'll find when you get to number 2 and 3. So here goes a middle note. I can look for that middle note, and because this is treble clef, I'm not going to look at bass clef, I'm going to look at treble, and I can see, that looks, it's underneath a ledger line. That's what these short lines are called, ledger lines, okay? That's what this is called. So here it is, it looks like it's a B. Alright, and then for the other ones, if you memorized your sayings already, every good boy, that would be a B. And the spaces are face, F-A, that would be an A. Okay, so go ahead and continue to do that. And let me do that one more time. Every good boy, that's why that's a B. And then F-A, that's why that's an A, because the spaces spell face. And then same thing for down here. If you want to go flip to the previous page where you have your sayings to help you memorize this. But remember these middle notes that are above the staff, you're going to have to look up here where they gave you those random looking middle notes. Okay? So if I know my sayings here, the lines are good boys do fine always for the bass clef. So good boys do, so that would be a D. And then I can look up here to figure out what this middle note is, and that is a B, it looks like. Alright, so continue to get that done. And then right here, what you do is your bass clef, they give you treble clef and they give you bass clef notes. Okay, so first look at the clef, and there goes our bass clef, and we're looking for a bass clef B. Okay, so I can look back up here, look at bass clef of course, and look for a B, and look, I find one on line number 2. So then I come back here down to the bass clef and I draw a B. Okay, so back down to the bass clef and draw a B. Here's a treble clef, so this note's going to be up here. And I'm just going to put it in for you because I don't have to look up to see where a D is. Alright, make sure you look at the clef. Alright, good luck.